The Holdovers has been getting a lot of buzz lately, and I'm pretty late to the game, but it is available to rent at the same time that it's in theaters, so I gave it a go. Is it as good as the hype says it is? A cranky history teacher at a remote prep school is forced to remain on campus over the holidays with a troubled student who has no place to go. So if you care about Munchies, stick around to the end of the video as I have some new ones to talk about. Alright, so with the Holdovers, we got Paul Giamatti, Divine Joy Randolph, and Dominic Sessa, who's making his feature film debut. Now, this feels similar in ways to Dead Poet Society, where a character at an all-boys prep school finds friendship and inspiration from one of the teachers. Paul Giamatti, he's brilliant in this. He's the teacher who has to hold over at the school during the Christmas break with students who just don't have anywhere else to go. And Giamatti is riveting because he's able to switch between heartfelt compassion, palpable self-loathing, and snarky comedy with seamless ease. And it all feels natural. And through it all, he's even charismatic. I mean, not in the likable sense necessarily, but in the way that he commands the scenes. And he's got this cranky warmth to him. He's like a porcupine that's so endearing you'd want to snuggle him, knowing all the while that you're probably going to be impaled multiple times with his barbs. Now, there's a scene towards the beginning of the film had me laughing out loud with belly laughs because of how Giamatti assails his students. These are privileged, self-assured, and mostly dumb young men, and the intelligent insults that Giamatti hurls at them are nothing short of hilarious and accurate. But the film, it isn't about insulting dim-witted rich kids, even though that would be pretty entertaining for quite a while. This is a moving character journey about friendship that, while the trajectory is predictable, it's reassuring because of the obviousness. The character growth, it's something we want to see, and throughout the story, we're shown meaningful progress. Now, Dominic Sessa, who I already mentioned that this was his first movie performance, he's got a wonderful dynamic with Giamatti. As a course of the narrative, all of the other holdover students find someplace to go, leaving Sessa's character of Tully to be the lone student with Giamatti. Now, Tully is abrasive, opinionated, and stubborn, which is pretty much a mirror image of Giamatti, just in a younger and less mature persona. Now, they clash consistently and are very antagonistic towards each other, which then helps to illustrate the growth that they experience and begin to make decisions based on that growth. Now, Divine Joy Randolph plays the cook and the kitchen manager who also stays behind, and she provides meals for Giamatti and Sessa. Now, she is an excellent addition to the cast because of her character's melancholy and wit. She's a voice of reason and unexpected friendship with Giamatti, but the dynamic that she shares with both he and Sessa, I thought was beautiful. There's a very subtle moment towards the very end of the movie where we witness the result of their time spent together. It's touching and sweet, and it feels completely natural because of what we've watched. Now, the movie's a little over 2 hours in length, and there are times where I felt that length, and this is dialogue and character-driven story rather than one that's propelled by action. And we basically watch our characters in a location as they interact, whether that's in the cafeteria, at a restaurant, even a Christmas party. We're given a ton of insight into their progress through the dialogue exchanges. But also, because of this, pacing, it's much slower. That sometimes it made me feel the time. But because of that slower pace, we're also able to experience some beautiful cinematography with lingering shots of both environments and locations. And they add time to the narrative, but they also work to reinforce the emotion and the aesthetic of the story. The cold and isolating snow-covered campus is a parallel to some of the cold or isolated emotions that our characters are experiencing. And also, with that aesthetic, because this takes place in 1970, Alexander Payne, the director, he has chosen to make the presentation look as though it was filmed during that time. The opening title and credits feel like a 70s film, and then there are pops and crackles of sound that mimic an old film playing through a projector. There's also a bunch of graininess to the final product, again sticking to the visual that this was made 50 years ago, even though it was shot on digital and had all of the old effects created in post-production. For as depressing as the story looks like it could be, I was really surprised at the sweetness and the charm that we get. Yeah, there are sad moments woven throughout this, and pieces of it are heartbreaking, but the dominant emotion is that of joy, and I thought that was a hugely pleasant result. Now, I don't think this is the best film of the year, but it certainly is one of the best. We don't get too many dialogue-driven character studies that balance somber tones with those of compassion, so this one does stand out from the crowd. And with the phenomenal performance by Giamatti, this is certainly one you do not want to miss. So overall, The Holdovers is a touching drama that infuses acerbic wit with sincere platonic love, convincingly delivered by Giamatti, Randolph, and newcomer Sessa. The comedy is perfectly blended with loneliness, producing a memorable story that can make you laugh and cry. While the pacing is slower and the time is noticeable, the resolution of the story is satisfying and earned. There's no sex, tiny bit of nudity, a lot of profanity, and no violence. I give The Holdovers 4.5 out of 5 couches. So, what's your favorite Paul Giamatti role? Now, I think he's wonderful in pretty much everything that he does, but the one that consistently sticks with me is his tiny little role in My Best Friend's Wedding. I'd love to hear your thoughts, though, in the comments below. All right, so I got a couple of new munchies to try out. First one is candy canes, because, hey, it's Christmas time, but these are Twinkie flavored. My daughter got these at the dollar store and had a funny conversation with the person checking out, knowing that neither of them had tried them. They're probably disgusting and that she was going to give them to me to try. Anyway, I have unwrapped one so that I could just test it out. I have not tasted it or anything as of yet, so you get to see the first thing. It has no smell. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Riveting, I know. It's bland. Oh, no. It has a vanilla taste to it. That's actually not too shabby right there. Yep. Okay. Twinkie flavored candy canes. Surprisingly, they're good. Give them a go if you like candy canes, or you don't like candy canes, but you like something that's like a candy cane. Anyway, never mind. All right. Next one. This comes from Australia. It is a violet crumble, and it is dark, which I like. I like dark chocolate better than regular chocolate. It is delicious, shattering candy honeycomb. I don't even understand what that means. It says on the side, it's the way it shatters that matters. So if you're from Australia, maybe you know about these things. I don't know. I'm going to give it a dark chocolate there. Looks like a big hunk of poo. Mr. Hanky. Oh, yeah. Sorry, that's rude and disgusting, but you needed to be able to hear the crunch because I could feel it. I think I almost broke a tooth. I taste chocolate more than anything, which I think is a good thing because I don't like honey. Doesn't really taste like honeycomb. Doesn't look like honeycomb either in the center. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if it's going through there. And anyway, it's just kind of solid. Looks like if you've ever seen Three Musketeers, it looks like an old version of a Three Musketeers that has yellowed and then become dry in the center. Not horrible. Very rich, though. I don't think I would want more of that because I'm starting to feel it. Next, we have up Jammy Dodgers. These are from the UK. Honestly, I didn't realize they were a cookie. The only time I really ever heard Jammy Dodger was from, what's that rap movie that was voiced by Hugh Jackman? Not Hugh Laurie, Hugh Jackman. I don't know. And his boat was called the Jammy Dodger. I don't know. Okay. I'll remember the title at some point, probably in the middle of the night. So these are cookies. They're raspberry flavored. Oh, I'm just seeing this. Shortbread cookies, shortcake cookies with raspberry flavor, apple jam filling. Why would you put raspberry and apple together? They're cute. They got a little heart on them. See, like that. It has a little JD on it, like Jammy Dodger. We'll see. Oh, that's weird. It doesn't taste bad, but it's not a pleasing texture. It's like we've taken a really, really dry and not very sweet cookie, put a thin layer of eraser in between. It's crumbling. And then put another cookie underneath it and maybe stuck it together with some paste. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I was drinking coffee with these or tea, dipping it in there, maybe that's better. By themselves, they have a terrible aftertaste. It feels like I've eaten maybe insulation, something like that. So anyway, there you go with all the snacks. Twinkie flavored candy canes are a hit. Yes, absolutely. If you like something very rich and you like dark chocolate, the Violent Crumble. I think it should be Violent Crumble, but it's called a Violet Crumble. That's pretty good. The Jammy Dodgers. No. It's, throwing that away. The longer it goes, the worse it in my mouth. So anyway, there you go. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.